Okay, guys. So in today's discussion, so obviously we have talked about vector databases. So in today's discussion, I'll be talking about an application basically. And because going forward, so we have to talk about a LangServe, we have to talk about LangSmith, we have to talk about a LangChain, we have to talk about LangGraph, we have to talk about a Crew AI. Now, all of these frameworks are going to help you out to build something out of your LLMs, right? So this large language models, and that is something that we are going to do inside a class. So in my today's class, I'll be showing you one simple smart project, right? One simple smart project. So where we are going to create a multiple agents. Now many of you don't even understand what is the meaning of agents. That's completely fine, right? So we are going to build a project, so where we are going to create a multiple agents, and then I'll explain you what is the meaning of those agents, by the way. And that agent, different agents are going to perform a different task into a different sequences. They are going to perform the task, and finally all together they will be able to perform one final task that I will be looking for. So it's like a team, right? It's like a team. So like as a part of the team, so everyone try to like take care of their own responsibility, and then finally we use to deliver something to our client, or maybe we will be able to build some of the product. So in the similar manner, so we are going to like do some sort of a work, we are going to do some sort of a task where multiple agents will come together, and then they are going to perform one common task. Now that one common task that I have chosen for my today's discussion is a very amazing one. So generally, you go outside, or maybe you go on YouTube, or maybe you go on other platforms, and try to search for basically a roadmap, right? That okay. So if I'm trying to learn agentic AI, if I'm trying to learn MCPs, if I'm trying to learn like a RAG, if I'm trying to learn maybe a data science, big data, DevOps, cloud, Docker, Kubernetes, DSA, system design, whatever, right? So what should be the roadmap, right? Generally, like we try to like watch those videos, roadmap videos, right? That okay, so this is going to be the roadmap for this particular one. Now, so similar kind of a roadmap for any topic, any given topic, right? Or any kind of a mind map, we all will be able to create with the help of this particular project, which we are going to discuss in my today's class in a step-by-step manner, obviously, right? So in a step-by-step manner, we are going to talk about all of these components, and then we are going to combine it, and then we will be able to build a project. So where I can just try to type that, give me a roadmap for machine learning, give me a roadmap for a generative AI, give me a roadmap for MCPs, give me a roadmap for agentic AI, or maybe a fine tuning, maybe for a big data, maybe for a AWS, right? It will be a solution architect, and it will be able to give you a roadmap then and there, that too with the graph, right? In a complete like a graph way, it is going to give you the roadmap. So, and this project is going to help you out to understand not just one or two concept, but a multiple concept altogether. And like I said, so I will be using a agent over here, a multiple agent. I will be using a framework called as LangGraph, and that is going to help me out in terms of like, uh, building this entire project. So are we ready, guys? Every one of us? How LLM model is learning when application send a message to the model or chat query without updating weight, or how LLM model is learning when application send a message to the model or chat query without updating weights or model. No, it's not learning, by the way. So maybe if you are using a search model, so basically it goes to Google, try to do a search, then summarize it, and then it gives you the answer. Otherwise, if I'm going to talk about maybe like a ChatGPT 4.0, they are not learning as of now. So basically they try to do a training in offline mode, obviously by like acquiring the new sort of the data, and then they try to release those models. That's the reason. So every day people are releasing the new models, right? So those models are not learning in a real time. They learn like offline, basically. Okay, so let's get started. Let me share my screen first of all, guys. And let me open up the project, and I'll just try to run the project and show you what is the final outcome that we are looking for. And then we are going to like build this project. I'm going to explain you that project in a one by one manner. So where is my project? Let me search. Multi-agent MCP. I think, yeah, this is the project. Okay, yeah, this is the project. Fine. So quickly what I will do is I'll just try to like run this entire project. Requirement.txt, everything is fine. And here I'm using Yuri AI, by the way. So I'm going to run this project quickly. Oh. So here Streamlit, 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 run, and then run what? So app dot, oh, why it is not able to knowledge graph builder. Okay. CD knowledge graph builder, Streamlit app.py. Just wait, guys. So I have just created this project day before yesterday, 2 days back. So I'm just trying to check. Yeah. So what kind of a output this project is going to give it to you? So let me show you the output first. I have just stored one of the output, and then I'll try to explain you in a detailed way. And then we are going to execute this project in a step-by-step manner. Yeah. So basically the output of this entire project is going to be this one, the one which I'm going to show you. Open with, let's open with Google. Yeah. So output of this project is basically this one. So this I have created basically like a roadmap for a machine learning. And as you can see, so it is telling me that what I'm supposed to prepare in a very first place, like a fundamental programming language, Python, how much time I'm supposed to take. So 3 week. I can even further drill it down, but yeah, I'm trying to show you that this basic project is solving a lot of problem for me. This is what I'm trying to show it to you. So fundamental mathematics for machine learning, linear algebra calculus, 4 week you are supposed to spend, data handling, so SQL and pandas, 3 week you are supposed to spend. I can even further drill it down, and then I can further like try to even print the topics that what is like required inside this topic, whatever topic you want. But yeah, this is the roadmap. Then data visualization, matplotlib and seaborn, machine learning basics, so supervised and unsupervised machine learning, 4 week of time you are supposed to spend. Then what you are supposed to do is specialization wise. If you are looking for a machine learning specialization, so in that case, ML algorithm. So this is the algorithm, 3 week of time is given to you. Model evaluation, feature engineering, deep learning. So this is as a specialization wise. Then project and practice. So how you are supposed to do, what you are supposed to do, everything you can try to print. Then deployment. So model deployment and APIs you have to learn. Flask and Docker you have to learn. Tool and framework wise, scikit-learn, TensorFlow, PyTorch, and then advanced technique wise. So reinforcement learning and generative models you are supposed to learn, and you should spend this much of time. Research and stay updated. So follow Euron's latest courses and tutorials, ongoing one. Yep. So now just with one single prompt, it is able to print each and everything. Even if I want that, what is like what I can learn, and this entire image that I'm showing you, right? This is created by system itself. I'm not like I have written a code. So basically I have written a code, and code is populating this entire image and the graph that you are able to see. So I'm not doing anything, by the way. So it's not like we have designed it manually. No, not at all. So we are using a GraphViz library over here. With the help of GraphViz library, so we are able to do that. And this entire analytics research, all these things is been done by Yuri AI. And then finally we are using a LangGraph. So LangGraph, where we are trying to configure the multiple agents, means multiple worker we are trying to configure. This is the overall idea, but yeah, so this is the final outcome of the project. You will be able to see. You can even try to extend this project. I can extend this project. I can say that with every topic, try to give me some subtopics as well, or try to give me some sub syllabus as well. I can going forward go and configure my entire Euron platform DB access. So here I can say that okay, if I have to learn this one, so now show me in which video this one is available, or which courses this entire things is available. So I can even do a mapping with that. So in this way, it is going to be a pure, authentic, dynamic roadmap in a real time. If my data is going to change, if your query is going to change, things will change automatically, right? So this is the project that we are going to work today. So as a objective of this project, so this project is going to give you a final roadmap, this roadmap that you're talking about, or in while like teaching you itself. So maybe I'll try to change my prompt, I'll try to change a little bit, and it will be able to even do more for me. Making sense, guys, what we are going to do today? Yes, everyone? Making sense? Okay, so let's start doing it. Now, why we are doing this one? Because if you will go through your syllabus, right? So let me now give you a walkthrough of your syllabus first, a little bit. So basically your syllabus hybrid live. So yeah, so we have your syllabus here. Now, if I'll go through your syllabus, so after this vector DB, right? After this vector DB, so we have to understand what? Introduction and architecture of generative AI application. So here, basic architecture overview, advanced Gen AI application architecture, multi-level architecture exploration, preview of the professional Gen AI application. Now, advanced Gen AI application, selecting a right foundational model, comprehensive tool for generative AI, all those things we have to understand, and then we have to get into the RAG, right? So which we will get into it from next week onwards, because next week we are going to start Saturday. We are going to start with the RAG basically. So to understand this entire chapter, unless and until we are not going to build something small or big, we will not be able to understand. And that's the reason. So I'm trying to give you this understanding in a very first place. So I'm trying to cover basically this portion of your chapters. So by showing you the application, we will try to understand this entire overview. But yeah, if I'll talk about the application wise, there are millions of application which is possible, not just one or two, not millions, I would say multi-million number of application which is possible. Sachin is saying joined a little late. Sorry, not an issue, Sachin. You have not missed much. It's fine. We are about to start the project part. Just to explain that topic. So hope all of you are able to understand the objective that I have set for this particular session. Now let's get started in a very first place. So there is a lot of platform you will be able to find out over internet, guys, and those platforms are, one of those platforms are LangChain, by the way. So you can go to a LangChain, and then maybe we can try to go through this entire LangChain platform. I'll try to explain you that what LangChain can do and why and where you are going to use this LangChain at the end of the day. Then there is a platform called as Crew AI, CREW, Crew AI. Sorry, CREW, Crew AI. There is a platform called as, there is a platform called as N8N. Fine. So likewise, there are so many platforms people have created. So where you can go, you can try to maybe just drag and drop, or maybe you can write a minimalistic code, or maybe you will be able to just call their APIs, and then end to end, you will be able to create your own AI agent. You can try to bring those agents to a production. Now, I have taken a name of agent. Now you will ask me a question that what is this agent, by the way? What is the definition of the agent that you, because you said that you can go to any of this platform, and then maybe you will be able to create an agent. I go here, it's written multi-agent, right? I just go here. Now it is going to tell me like somewhere that you can go and create the agents at the end of the day. Now I'll go here on N8N. It will again tell me that go and create any kind of an agent. Now what is a meaning of an agent? Anyone, guys, who can explain me? What do label 1, 2, 3 means? Label 1 means a basic understanding, 2 means building, 3 means deployment. Means sending it to production. You mentioned you cover, I think you have joined a little bit late, Akash. So I have already like said that I'll cover. That will take just 10 minutes of time. So it's not a big one. But yeah, so I'm just starting this project fresh. Maybe at the end of this class itself, I'll cover that part. Fine, just another vector DB. I'll be using URI API, convert it to embeddings, and then I'll just do a pip install Facebook AI semantic search in my local and store it, and then search it. That's it. Okay, so anyone who understands this agent, by the way, anyone? What is the meaning of the agent, by the way? Yeah, so agent is the entity which takes autonomous decision based on the task is given. Okay, okay. So maybe if I have agent is accomplished to a specific goal, leveraging the LLM as a reasoning engine. Okay, even that's correct. Yeah. So I'll say that forget about those LLMs and everything, right? So if I have to compare agent with some like agent with like a employee who is working in a company. So again, when we are working in a company, so we have our own roles and responsibilities, right? We have our own roles and responsibilities, and everyone agents are the LLMs which gives a specific task. Okay, that's also correct. It automatically uses LLMs and take a decision. Okay, fine, fine, fine. Yeah, so almost everyone is able to understand a little bit, but just hear me out. Hear me out. Like, what is my definition as per the agent, as per my understanding, right? So agent is nothing but a kind of an employee who has been hired or who has been deployed just for a specific task. So that employee is just going to do that particular task. For example, so let's suppose if I'm going to deploy a gatekeeper at your office door, right? So what gatekeeper will do? So gatekeeper will just open the gate and close the gate. If I have deployed someone to take attendance, what that person will do? That person will just try to maintain the books, right? Let's suppose if I have in my IT team, so if I have deployed someone, so who will just track everyone's tasks, that what everyone is doing on a daily basis, right? And then that person will try to analyze the the productivity of the entire team. I think PMO used to do the same thing in many companies, right? Very soon that job is going to be gone very soon. So basically this is what PMO does, by the way, right? Project management officer. Even I was not able to understand, when I was working with the multiple clients and companies, there was a lot of PMOs, and I was not able to understand why these PMOs even exist in this company, or maybe what they are doing. But yeah, task is task basically, right? So basically let's suppose we have hired up someone in a PMO. What they do? So they will just try to observe everyone. They will just go to everyone, ask or maybe they will just go to Jira. They will track each and everything, what kind of a work these people have done, this person has done, what is the overall productivity of the team, and then accordingly they will create the report. So here agents are exact same thing, right? Agents are nothing but, again, in a layman way, it's a piece of code, right? It's a piece of code. Maybe by drag and drop we are doing it, or maybe by writing some line of the code we are doing it. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's a piece of the code which you are writing to do some sort of a task in an automated way with the help of your LLMs, obviously, right? With the help of LLMs, because now LLMs are very much powerful. So LLMs, so by leveraging a capability of a LLMs, you have written a piece of the code. Now that behaves as a LLMs. That's it. Fine, that is something called as agent. But yeah, if you have to related with the real time, simple, maybe related with the gatekeeper, related with the bookkeeper, related with the attendance taker, right? Or maybe related with the PMOs. That okay, so this person is been designed to do their own task. And again, so if I'm talking about the human being, so whenever they will do their task, they will do their task with their own knowledge, guts and feelings, right? On a daily basis, not like a robot, right? Guts and feelings. This is where LLMs comes into picture. So LLMs is having its own knowledge base, its own guts, its own feeling, its own analysis or analogy. And based on that, so it is advising the code to do that, do this. Simple. This is called as agent. And this is where people have started talking about the agentic AI, right? Agentic AI. And this is where, again, all these platforms or ecosystem, which has been introduced very recently in a market, right? Which was not even available. No one even heard about this one 2 year or 2.5 year back. So now everyone is talking about it basically. And everyone is talking about a next level of automation. So whether I'm going to use a Crew AI, or I'm going to use a LangChain, or I'm going to use basically a N8N, everyone is helping me out to achieve almost a similar kind of a things in a different way. Obviously, some is providing you something, some is not providing you something. That's a different story. But yeah, at the end of the day, this is what you all will be able to find out. Now, learning these things is important if you would like to make a career into a Gen AI. But believe me, if you understand fundamentals, learning these things are not at all a big deal. Anyone can learn it. Anyone means literally anyone and everyone can learn it in a easiest possible way. Even without me, you will be able to learn it, right? This is how easy it is. Believe me, this is how easy it is. So it's not at all tough to learn these things, to experiment these things, or to build these things, or to build a product out of it, or maybe like to solve some sort of a problem by using these tools. So here in my today's class, I'll be using a LangGraph basically, right? Now, so inside a Lang ecosystem, so Lang is providing you an ecosystem. So inside the Lang ecosystem, you will be able to find out a couple of things. Now, what are those couple of things, by the way? Inside only Lang ecosystem. So Lang is, let's suppose, one framework, right? So basically inside a Lang framework itself, you will be able to see, or you will be able to find out basically something called as a LangChain. And then you will be able to find out something called as LangSmith. Then you will be able to find out something called as LangGraph. And then you will be able to find out something called as LangServe basically. So these are the four things that you will be able to find out inside a Lang ecosystem. And many people I have seen many people, even like experienced ones, so they get confused with the LangChain, LangSmith, LangGraph and LangServe. First of all, let me clarify you these things, that it's a part of same ecosystem. Now I'll talk about the high level use cases, that what LangChain does. So basically LangChain is a core framework from this entire Lang system that has been created. It's a core system. So here it allows you, or it focuses in terms of building a logic, right? In terms of building a logic. And here, so you will be able to build a series of the chain. Series of chain means, so agent number 1, let's suppose there is an agent number 2, means person number 1, person number 2, person number 3, and person number 4. For example, so like a attendance taker person, right? So a person will take a attendance, and then he will forward attendance to the next one. They will do the analysis. Then they will try to forward to the account, HR department. So HR department will try to make leave or no leave kind of a things. Then HR department will try to forward to the finance department. Now finance department will do what? So finance department will try to, based on the attendance, so they will try to release the salary. Is it making sense, guys? So can I say that in this situation, so from attendance taker itself, so let's suppose attendance taker is a low level agent, first agent, right? So attendance taker has passed this attendance to a auditor has passed these things to the HR has passed to the finance department. Now finally finance department will try to release the salary. So ultimately we are taking a attendance so that we can deduct your salaries, right? We can deduct your salaries if you are absent. That was the whole idea. That was the whole objective, right? So what we have done, so we have basically created a multiple separate agent. We have defined their own a functionality. So for each and every agent, now every agent is going to do a task in a sequential manner, and then finally it is going to give you the output, whatever output that you are looking for, right? Whatever project that you are trying to build, whatever problem that you are trying to solve. Now LangChain provides you a library. You can do it. You can do it means you can try to write multiple different kind of a function one by one in a sequence. You can try to arrange it. We'll try to get into that more. But as a layman way, this is what you can understand. Then if we are trying to build maybe a RAG application, I think we all understand what is the meaning of RAG application. So retrieval augmented generation application is nothing but a kind of application. So where we are trying to use a publicly available LLM's knowledge, plus we are trying to use our own knowledge base, right? So before sending embeddings, or before sending a query to a LLM, so what we do is we try to send some of the information from my knowledge as well, or I can say my own repository, my private data set as well, so that based on that it will be able to give me the answer. So you can try to build RAG kind of application over here in a easiest possible way, right? Any kind of a tools means technically a function, by the way. right? Any kind of a tools, you can try to build it over here. For example, recently I've been talking about a lot of MCP projects, a lot of like a functions or MCP tools I have written over there. If you will go through or if you will follow along those lectures, right, in every project. So this is where LangChain comes into a picture. LangChain can do all of these things. Frameworks is available, library is given to you, code is already written, just call the library and then you will be able to do it. Now, where this LangSmith fits in. So whenever you are trying to build any application, for example, with the help of LangChain, which is the core library, right? So obviously when you will try to build those applications, so you need some sort of a setup by which you will be able to do a debugging, monitoring, right? So you will have to like do a debugging, you will have to go ahead and do a monitoring, you will have to check whether things are working fine or not. Means you have to visualize the chain, you have to visualize the agent, you have to find out the output or errors or anything, right, to maintain these entire things. So this is where this LangSmith comes into a picture. I believe I have shown you a tensor in my class I have shown you a tensor board, right guys? If you remember, anyone who remembers a tensor board, by the way? Yep, anyone guys who remembers a tensor board? Technically, LangSmith you can consider as a tensor board. So where you can see all the final outcome, you can try to visualize it. Means you can visualize all the agents chains. So basically LangSmith provides you those APIs, or you can say those methods or functions LangSmith is going to provide you. So same thing it's doing, but yeah, it's just like a supporting a LangChain, you can say. It's just going to support a LangChain over here. So debugging, monitoring, and then visualization, all of these things you will be able to do it with the help of LangSmith library. So whatever you have built in LangChain, you can just use a LangSmith to do the same thing. So it's like a tensor board of a Lang. Simple, right? Tensor board of the Lang you will be able to find out. Now, third one is basically a LangGraph, right? So LangGraph. So what is this LangGraph and how it is like a different? So LangGraph is again like LangSmith is a core framework. Even over there you can try to create a multiple agents, but LangGraph technically supports a multi-agent complete end-to-end workflow, and it will be able to control the, or you will be having a flexibility so that you will be able to control the state of the agent at any point of a time. This is where this LangGraph comes into a picture. So here it try to provide you where is my pencil? Yeah. So here it try to provide you, it's became, yeah, okay, multi agent workflow you will be able to create, plus you will be able to like do a stateful conversation in between the agents, or you can try to create an agent which will be able to collaborate with each other. Now what is the meaning of this, right? So I have given you one example in this place, right? So where there is a attendance taker, and then attendance taker is passing those data to the auditor, then to HR, and then to a finance guy. Yeah. Now, so here in one chain, in one sequence, we are trying to pass the information. But maybe here in case of a LangGraph, so this is the core property of LangChain. So maybe into a LangGraph, you can try to create a collaborative agent. Means you do this, I'll do this. If I'll do this mistake, I'll come back to you. You will again correct this one. I'll again do this. Kind of this one means back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I can try to go ahead. I can try to give an instruction to this one. This will revert back. Then again, I'll come back, then revert back, then come back, then this way. So basically you will be able to create a collaborative agents. This is where this LangGraph comes into a picture. So in my today's project, I will be using a LangGraph, by the way, right? So to do that one, so I am going to create 3 agents over there. So this is what where LangGraph comes into a picture. So wherever you are trying to build a workflow, where one agent is going to pass a control to the different agent based on the condition. So over there, I can try to use a LangGraph kind of a library. Today itself, you will be able to see a demo of a LangGraph in my class, in my project. So where I'm going to create like a project, so which can generate any kind of a roadmap after doing a lot of research, synthesization, and then finally a graph builder. Now there is something called as LangServe, right? So we are able to build the multiple chains, each and everything, debug, monitoring, all these things are completely fine, right? So now we have to basically like deploy those applications, right? We have to like send those applications over to the subserver. Now this is where this LangServe comes into a picture. So this gives you a capability so that it's more like a deployment tool. Deployment tool, right? It's more like a deployment tool that you will be able to find out, which is going to help you out in terms of doing a deployment of all of these agents at any point of a time. So is it making sense to all of us, guys? Any confusion between all these four in terms of definition? Yeah, in terms of definition, are you able to understand? So I don't think that you will get confused with any of these four going forward. Right now, you know that inside a Lang family, so what is basically like things that we have and what we are going to use for what purposes. Yeah. Fine, everyone. So please let me know yes or no. Fine. Yeah. LangChain only for single agent, not for single agent, a chain of agent you can try to create. You can solve RAG problems over there. You can try to create a multiple tool over there, right? A individual agent you can try to create, or maybe a chain of agent you can try to create over there. So it's not like it's just for the single agent. You can create a multiple agent. You can even connect each and every agent with each and every one. LangSmith and Serve, please repeat. So see, LangSmith is been used for a debugging and monitoring and visualization, just like a tensor board, right? Just like a tensor board. So where you will be able to track the application. If there will be some error, you will be able to debug it. You will be able to check the logs at the end of the day. This is where LangSmith comes into a picture, because for any real-time application that we are going to build, obviously we have to observe those applications. We have to debug if there will be an error. We have to monitor all those applications into a production. This is where LangSmith comes into picture. Now, if I'll talk about Serve, so basically it's allowing you to expose your entire things, entire system as a API to the outer world, right? So it's more like a deployment tool. Can we do a multi-agent without a LangGraph? Obviously you can do it. Yes. So this is the Lang family. Do this agent have to be sequential in a workflow, or can we make a complex workflow with non-linear kind of a workflow among these agents? You can create a non-linear workflow in a easiest possible way. That is possible, right? That is possible. And again, so with the help of graph, that is possible. Then why multi-AI agent system were created like a Crew AI, LangGraph and AutoGens? LangGraph is a part of like a same Lang family itself. Crew AI is a different company altogether. So let's suppose your like a friends has created one company. Now you think that, okay, fine. So your friend's business is doing good. Let's go and create one more. So this is where Crew AI comes into a picture. This is where AutoGen comes into a picture. Fine. So basically they are the competitor in between. They're just fighting for the market share. And these are not the only like a framework. So almost all the biggies are now bringing this like things. So where you can create a multiple agents. We are even working on some projects. So we are we are creating an agent hub, by the way. Very soon you will be able to see it. So basically we have a Yuri inside this one, right? So we have like now we are thinking a different kind of a feature or future, you can say, for our Yuri. So Yuri is one of the amazing and one of the useful platform that we have created, and people are literally loving it. The kind of feedback or the kind of a consumption that we are able to observe over here. So obviously we are trying to make it better and better. But now we are trying to like create a separate app just for Yuri. kind of a family app, you can say, where pay as you go basis people will be able to access it. Means you are going to like do a top up, just like a SIM card top up, and then you and your entire family will be able to use the capability of AI. Plus we are even planning to bring a agent hub over there, so that let's suppose you have created some agent which is going to do some sort of a task. So just like an app store and play store, right? So just like an app store and play store, so we are trying to create even a marketplace in a separate Yuri ecosystem, so where you can try to dump your own agents and many more things. So we are already like working on it, so maybe by the end of June you will be able to see some responses from a Yuri, and you will be able to see a complete separate app for Yuri, like Android and iOS both, plus this agent hub and many things, right? Because obviously future is going to be all about agents and the AI and all of these things all together, right? So we are just trying to build in that way. They were asking, we are supposed to assume that agent is a combination of LLM properties and tools, combination of different chains property. I mean, like chain, tool, all these things are basically like a kind of a technical word. Don't run after that. I don't taking like those names like technical words. It simply means that a program with the access of LLMs, right? A simple program with the access of LLMs defined for the specific task. That's it. That is something called as agent. And then you create a multiple agents, combine it all together. You can say that as a chain, or maybe you can say that as a non-linear, like a graph. Simple. Agno framework. Yeah, likewise, there are so many tons of frameworks are available, and every framework is almost trying to do the same thing. And they're like trying to release the similar kind of a feature. Can we build an agent on a local server? You can build it anywhere. Should we learn all? Not at all. Learn one, learn the fundamentals, and then just go and explore once and leave it. Because this is how easy these things are. Okay, so now let's go ahead. This is the future that we are thinking about. So even inside a Yuri, so we are trying to bring not this kind of a platform, but yeah, so a kind of a agent hub we are building. So very soon, and over there, even we can publish the agents, and even you can publish your own agent. And then in a later stage, even you can monetize your own agents. So we are just working on it. So project is in a initial stage as of now. So hopefully by June end, you will start looking into those like outcomes that we are working on as of now. Okay, so now there is another platform called as Crew AI, right? Again, what you will do, create a multiple agents. Multiple agents means what? A person with a specific task, and then connect it, combine it. That's it. This is what you will be able to do with the help of Crew AI. Now coming to N8N, what you will do, again the same thing. So you are going to like connect all your tools, all your databases, all your Slacks, all your file systems, everything, whatever you can think of, right? Whatever you can think of, you will be able to connect each and every one. Or maybe just try to call your Zapier, and Zapier can connect with the 8,000 tools, because this is what Zapier does. I think 8,000, yeah. Zapier can connect with the 8,000 tool which is available in this world. It's one of the massive like a connector. Through Zapier, you can connect with anything, right? Even we are using Zapier since a very, I think like since last 6-7 years, we are using Zapier for different purposes. So yeah, connect it, automate it, and then leave it. System is going to work for you. This is what all these platforms comes into a picture. And likewise, there are another tons of platform which is coming. And again, in future, you can expect that there will be multiple companies which will be launched, right? Eventually going to do exact same thing in a different way. And like, for example, N8N, right? So they have almost like made your like a entire environment like a drag and drop, no code kind of a solution. You can write a basic code over here. That's completely fine. And it provides you that feature as well. But yeah, you just have to do a drag and drop, connect all these things, give a password, give authentication, give the APIs, and then leave it, right? Then leave it. And it is going to automate the entire task for you. Crew AI. So you have to go ahead and then you have to write like a couple of lines of a code over here. Then again, if I'll talk about the Lang ecosystem, so you have to go and write like a couple of lines of code over there. So everyone is trying to build something. They're trying to solve the same problem in their own way. That's it. They have their own USP. Yuri suggested this Coursera, Audacity or edX for a comprehensive courses on system design. Yeah, so we have not configured Yuri as of now aligned with the Euron. Once we are going to configure it, Yuri will not even suggest you one single platform out of Euron in terms of courses at least. We are already aware about it because we are using a pre-trained model over there, right? So, sir, if AI is a future, so is it possible MLDL work job is completely finished or lost? Not at all. Not at all. It will be there. Can all ML use cases be resolved with the AI? See, at the end of the day, believe me, job of core developer, right, is not going anywhere. Believe me, doesn't matter what kind of AI we are going to create. And maybe people are going to give you a different kind of analogy, right, based on their own experiences and expertise. But the kind of a development that I'm doing since last 11 years along with my team, right, sometime big, sometime with a small team, all sort of a team, I would say, right. So the kind of future which I'm able to see is that it's tough to replace a core developer. Obviously, with the help of AI, so the place where 100 developers are required, now maybe only 5 people are required, right? And that's again true, right? 100 wherever we have like we need 100 people, now we just need 5 people, and with the 5 people, we are even more productive, right? Even more productive as compared to the 100 number of peoples. But the entire world is going for a revamp. That is a very big part, right? Whatever code, whatever system which has been developed in last 30 years, especially after 1990s, because most of the things has been developed after 1990s itself, right? So everything will go for a revamp. That is a very first part. Everywhere people are going to integrate AI. That's a second part. A new business dimension, a new business unit people are trying to open up just with the AI. That is a third dimension. Now we are even thinking about settling down on some different planet. Now without software, obviously you are going to build all those machines and everything, but at the end of the day, everything you will be able to control with the help of software itself, right? Not manually. We are not in that era now. So obviously you have to create a software. AI will not be able to do everything. So AI is going to work with you as a super knowledgeable helper, or you can say a worker, which can do a lot of things automatically, but even it needs a input, right? It needs your expertise. So that's the reason you must have seen that people are not hiring a fresher, but yes, there is a lot of hiring which is going on for a mid-level and even for a senior level, right? Because obviously we need those kind of expertise. So job is not going anywhere, but yeah, so in future or in very soon, you will be able to see that for hardcore developer, there will be like a 5x or 10x opportunity, which will be available in a same market, basically, right? And even now I can see that. So it's not going anywhere, but yeah, if you just know the basic, if you are a lazy person, or maybe if you have not worked in a amazing project, if you are not able to implement something on your own, if your IQ level is below average, to be blunt again, so then it will be difficult. Obviously, then you can't expect that people will come, because in 1990s, people were able to get a job even if I know how to run select star from EMP, right? That even if I have that kind of a knowledge, I was able to get a job. Even I was like I would have like a whatever job, and maybe I would have traveled to on site, and then I have done everything. But in down the line, in the last 35 years, things have changed a lot, right? Expectation has changed a lot. The entire world has changed a lot, and especially if I'll talk about the IT, right? So you have to prepare yourself accordingly. Otherwise, you will be living in a fear that some days AI is going to take your job. But that is not the actual fear. The actual fear is people are not willing to adopt, people are not willing to learn. And because of that, they are losing a job, not because of AI, right? So just understand the differences, and sooner you will be able to understand the differences, you will be able to learn in a better way, upskill yourself in a better way, and then move forward in a better way. Thank you, sir. Now I feel whatever I learned till today in data science, everything has helped me in the future also in AI. Yeah. So I'm trying to use AI in healthcare and life sciences. That's great. That's great. That's amazing. So always try to build something, and believe me, no one will take your job. Otherwise, obviously, people will take your job, right? Or especially like AI. So it will take your job. So there are multiple agentic framework, guys, which is available. And yeah, so a couple of framework I'm going to discuss in a class itself, especially in this class. So Crew AI is something which I'm going to discuss. Lang series is something which I'm going to discuss inside this class. After that, we have already published couple of videos on N8N with lot of like an integration. I believe our Hindi and English videos are available on our YouTube channel as well as inside your dashboard, and that too project wise. So maybe you can just watch one or two videos project wise, and after that, believe me, you will be able to do everything, right? You just need a broad vision and broad ideation. That's it. You have to productive for your company somehow with the skill development. You have to productive for your company. Obviously, yes. Why anyone can learn GenAI without MLDL? We have contributed various year or hours to it. See, it's not just about the GenAI, right? So maybe you are going to work in GenAI. Someone else is going to work in a computer vision. Someone else is going to maybe automate their old ML system with the help of GenAI. So obviously they need a ML. So it's not like you will always get something in a GenAI, right? There are multiple fields of AI which exist. When agent is passed with the private data, then LLMs can generate using this private data only for that session. No, not from just for the private data. So it will be combining private plus public both. This is what is called as RAG. Then is this not like automation? LLMs are not utilizing the properly across a session. No, it's I think I don't know what you're trying to say, but it's partially incorrect. Okay, now so let's try to understand a project, by the way. So let's try to understand that what we can try to build with this one. So here in this project which I am going to show you, so it is going to build a knowledge graph. This is where this project comes into a picture. Now, as you can see, this is going to build a knowledge graph for me. I'm going to give a very simple prompt saying that try to give me like a roadmap for a big data, or maybe for data science, maybe for front end, back end, or anything, right? Maybe for a UPSC. I'm preparing for a UPSC, so basically give me a roadmap for UPSC, or maybe for a CAT, JAT, MAT kind of exam, or maybe for a CA exam, whatever. So I can try to give a prompt, and then I'm expecting that it should be able to give me a graph. So to do that, we are going to build this entire project. So let's try to build this entire project. I'm going to open up a new VS Code, and please try to open up your VS Code as well, so that in a step-by-step manner, we are going to build this one. It's not very tough. You all will be able to build it very soon. In maybe next like a 30 minute, you will be able to build it. So here code multi-agent graph. Okay. So just try to build this project, guys. Now inside this entire like a project, so what we can do is we can try to create a folder structure first. So to create a folder structure, so I'm going to like create one Python file called as structure structure.py file. So this is the py file I'm going to create. And now here, so whatever folder structure that I am looking for, so basically I am looking for this folder structure. So there should be a knowledge graph builder, inside that agent tool, workflow, utility, data output, and then file wise. So these are the file I'll try to create. Okay. So let's go ahead and execute this one. Automatically, it is going to create a folder structure for me. Python Python structure.py file. And here, as you can see, it has created this folder structure for me. Simple, right? I can add or subtract multiple folder as per my need. So just take this piece of the code and create your own structure. Ping me yes or no if you are able to create it. So just create a folder structure, guys, first. Yes, everyone. So just try to create a folder structure. Yeah. Now I'll try to talk, and please ping me yes or no if you're able to create the folder structure inside your like any directory. That's fine. So Scribble Inc. Now, so before talking about this project code, let me talk about basically like a little bit of architecture around this entire project. That what we are trying to build, a flow at least, right? So we are trying to build basically a user interface. So here we will be having a user interface. So where user will be able to input what user is looking for. Yeah. So user will try to basically input that what user is looking for. Okay. So this. So here we are trying to create a user interface. User interface we are going to create. Now this I will be creating by using a Python library called as Streamlit. Now with the help of this interface, user will try to give a input. What kind of a input? Input means user will try to say that, okay, so maybe I'm preparing for the UPSC, try to give me a roadmap for that. I'm looking for maybe like a data science, so try to give me a roadmap for that. Or maybe I'm preparing for this, that, whatever, right? Whatever graph you are looking for. So user is going to give an input with the help of this UI. Now, so whatever input this UI will be able to get, so that input will be flown inside my LangGraph. LangGraph. So basically LangGraph workflow. So this I'm going to pass inside basically my LangGraph workflow. And just now I have discussed, right, that what purposes you can use a LangGraph. So obviously to create a multiple agents, I can try to create a LangGraph basically. Now we also understood that what is the meaning of an agent. So here it is going to give inside the LangGraph workflow. Now inside the LangGraph workflow, obviously I am expecting an agent. Now what kind of an agent I am expecting? So what is my task, by the way? My task is to basically give a complete roadmap. What is my task? My task is to give a complete, what is my end goal? My end goal is that whatever user is going to give as an input, right? So based on that input, try to perform a final work. Now, what is the final work of this entire project? Give me the roadmap, right? Generate the roadmap basically. So here inside this like a LangGraph workflow, I will be creating 3 agents. Agent number 1, agent number 2, agent number 3. I can create 30 as well. There is no foundation at all. But just to start with, I'll try to create a 3 agent. So, and what kind of a task I'm going to assign to all of this agent? So the very first agent which I'm going to create will be doing a research agent. So let's suppose if I'm saying that try to prepare a generative AI roadmap for me, right? Try to prepare a generative AI roadmap for me. So what this research agent will do is it will go to Google, right? It will go to Google. It will try to search from all the existing, right? Whatever is available over the internet. So it will try to search all across the internet, and then it will try to bring some sort of a information with respect to this query that you have given. Yeah. So this is what this research agent is going to do. So here, Google search. Now to do a Google search, I can use a Google API. So here, or maybe I can use other API as well. So Serper API I will be using so that I will be able to do a Google search, right? Sometimes Serper API will be down. So in some of my MCP project, I have even shown you that how from the Google Cloud account, you can use basically a Google API. I have also shown that part in some of my project, in an MCP project. So Serper API I'm going to use as of now. So I'll show you that part. Then the second agent which I'm going to create, right? Second agent I'm going to create. So basically it's going to be the synthesizer in the agent. So what this synthesizer agent is going to do, or you can say summarizer agent, right? So basically here I'm going to use Euron LLM, right? So basically from a Euron itself, Euron LLM I'm going to do, which will do what? So whatever data that this agent is trying to bring, right? So this agent will just try to summarize those things, the way we are looking for as a final output, right? A final output basically. Now, so the third agent which I will be using is a mapper node. mapper, you can say agent. Now what this mapper agent will do, so let's suppose I am able to summarize those data with the help of my synthesizer or summarizer agent, which where Euron LLM I'm using, right? So I'm using this help of this LLMs. So here it will try to create a map, or you can say it can create a graph data. Graph data it is going to create. Why we are looking for graph data? Because that's the need of my user. This is what I'm looking for at my like a final outcome. This is what I'm looking for. That's the reason. So basically I will be looking for this graph data. So basically so graph means what? Graph means this kind of a structure, right? This kind of a structure. So obviously there will be a node, there will be an edge. So obviously we have to define each and everything. So this agent is going to help me out to prepare a data which is required to visualize those things. And this agent is going to send this map data, prepared data to what? To basically a graph vij library, right? This kind of a data to the graph vij library, so that it will be able to generate a image for me into SVG, JPG or whatever format that I want, right? And then maybe I can try to like return back saying to my user interface Streamlit that, okay, work done. Are you able to understand what we are trying to create? Are you able to understand the entire flow? That what I will be doing like in today's class and what we are going to use? Folder structure not created. Why not created? Just execute the code. It will be created automatically. Yeah. Fine, guys. So this is something that we are going to do step by step manner, right? So here from outside, we are going to use two APIs. One is a Euron API and one is a Serper API. Both is easy to create. Euron is like, you know how easy Euron is to create. And then again, if I'll talk about the Serper, so again, I'll show you how to like create a Serper API. It will just take 30 seconds of time, not more than 30 seconds of time to create a Serper API. And then 3 agents we are going to create for 3 different tasks, but all of these 3 agents are connected to each other, one after another. Unless and until the previous agent is not going to give a proper response, next one will not be able to work, right? Next one will not be able to work. Do we need to remember these agents? Sort of, no. I mean, like try to apply your logical thinking sometime. This, have I said that this is the name of the some global agent or something? I've just given this name by myself. Depends upon my task. So when you're trying to learn something, sort of, right? So please try to open up your brain. And focus is very much important. Attention is very much important. I believe we have gone through a research paper called Attention is All You Need, right? So this is what you need in your life as well, in every aspect of the life. Otherwise, you will start losing it. Is there any long and short term memory as well? Memory component I will try to add when I'll try to talk about a LangChain and LangGraph separately. So there is a memory component which exists. I'll be talking about that. But I think today is not that time. Yeah. In one single day, I'll not be discussing everything. Otherwise, you will not be able to understand. And then you will say that, shall I go and remember it? I'm like, no, you should not remember a single line. I don't remember even a single line. Things are literally very, very logical, very, very connected, right? If you are able to connect it, believe me, you don't have to build the memory. Yeah. Okay, fine. So now this is something that we will try to create. So so back and forth, I'll come over here. I'll show you this step. I'll do it. Then I'll come back. So back and forth, we'll keep on doing this kind of things. Let's go to this one and let's try to like create it. So here, right? So folder structure is created. Now forget about the folder structure, close it, right? And then get into the folder structure. So cd knowledge graph, knowledge knowledge graph. So we are into this particular folder structure where all of these folder structures are already available. There is a file called as requirement.txt. So obviously we are going to keep all the requirements over there. Generally, I advise everyone to create a fresh environment. So whenever you are trying to like do any new project, so always try to go ahead and create a fresh environment. So this is what we are going to do even for this project. So we are going to create a fresh environment so that there will not be any kind of a dependencies going forward, right? Because of this version issue, you might get into some issues and you will say that things are not working for me, right? So most of the time it's just a simple problem, version issue. So here I'll try to create a new environment for me. So conda create -n, and I'll give an environment name. So multi-agent lang. I think it's a very big name that I've given. So multi-agent, I'll just keep it till this point. And then Python is equals to 3.10 install everything. Okay. Conda create, what I have done? CONDA. Yeah. So conda create -n, and this is the environment which I am trying to create. So please try to create your environment, guys. Python version, which is the best? I mean, like, nothing is best. Nothing is my favorite. It depends what project I'm creating. Generally, in a fresh project, I try to install like a 3.10. Now, so after that, conda activate multi-agent. So just activate your multi-agent, by the way. So conda create is done, conda activate is done. So this is the environment which is done for me. Now what I will do is, so I'll try to prepare my requirement.txt file. Yeah. Requirement.txt file. I'll try to keep everything inside, whatever is required inside the requirement.txt file. So these are the things, guys, which is required for this project that we are going to build. So there is something called as Streamlit you need to install for a UI part. You have to basically install a Uri AI to access Euron. Without even Uri AI, you can access it. But yeah, Uri AI, it will make your life easy. GraphViz for plotting the graph. A request for hitting the API. Python.dev again to load the environment. LangChain. So basically for LangChain, obviously. Pillow, if we are going to use it, I don't think so. LangGraph for LangGraph framework. So just try to do one thing. Pip install -r requirements. Why it is not working? Autocomplete. Requirements.txt. Could not. Okay, I have to change my directory. Pip install -r requirements.txt. So now it will be able to install everything, whatever I have mentioned inside my requirement.txt. So please do it, guys, quickly, everyone. So now my environment is ready. My installation is done. So once it's done, please ping me in a chat. Abhishek has only said yeah, Abhishek, directory was the problem. I have changed it. So now it's working. Done, everyone? Okay. What about other people? Abhishek has just pinged me yes, done. Okay. Mrityunjay saying done. Fine. Next. Guys, we have so many people. We have 100+ people I can see in my chat, and only 1 or 2 people are replying. That's not good. Durgesh, Utkars, fine. Dev Kumar, running sir. Okay. Great. Mrityunjay, okay. Fine. Done. Vedraj, fine. Vijay, done. Okay. Surinder. Okay. Now people are so you need a motivation, by the way, right? Unless I'm not going to ask you, you will not respond. Okay, well, not an issue. I'll keep on asking you then. Fine. So requirement.txt is done, and this installation is done. So now my environment is ready for everything. Now just try to open up your agent folder, right? Agent folder. So how many agents we have to create? Technically, we have to create 3 agents. 1 for research, 1 for summary, and 1 for mapping, basically, right? So these 3 agents we have to create, by the way. Now, so inside this 3 agent, I'm going to for research, I'm going to use Serper API. For a synthesizer, or you can say summarizer. You can change your name, guys. I don't have any issue. I have just given my name. You can change your name as per your need. Whatever suits you, just keep it. So synthesizer, which is going to create the summary. So I'll try to keep a code here. Researcher, I'll try to keep code here. And for mapper, I will keep a code here. Like I told you in a beginning itself, while giving a definition, that agents are nothing but just a piece of code. That's it. Nothing more than that, right? Just a piece of code. Very simple. So and generally I avoid like a taking name of two technical words because I'm a teacher, right? So uh, not like a someone who is giving a speech over a like a uh, some stage. So my students should be able to understand it at the end of the day. So that's the reason I avoid taking those names most of the time. So these are the three agent guys. Now, so I need a URI API and I need a Serper API. These two APIs is required. So what I will do is I'll just go to Google and first of all, I'll go to Euron. I'll try to take my URI APIs. So authentication, copy, and inside this, okay, so there is one file you have to create. I forgot to mention inside my structure.py file called as .env file. Just create .env file, guys. So over here, we are going to keep our URI API key and we are going to keep our Serper API key. So URI API key and Serper API key we are going to keep. So these are the two keys you have to update, guys. You have to update. So for URI API key, I'll just go to like a Euron, copy the API token, right? And then keep it here as a string. Done. Now for Serper API, why we are using Serper? Serper is going to help you out in terms of a Google search. You can directly use a Google API from Google console as well. Or there are other vendor who are going to give you like APIs. You can try to use that as well. I don't have any issue. Just use something which can do a Google search. So for that CRPER Serper API, I can call. Now, so just try to do a sign in. First of all, you have to go ahead with the registration. Otherwise, directly come over here, do a Google sign in. And then here, so I'm able to get my private API key, right? Here is my API key, which is visible. So I'll be using, and they are going to give you like a free credit, basically, right? So you can try to use it. And I think that's more than enough for at least experimentation. But for building a real-time application, it will not be enough, basically. So just try to keep your Serper API key in this particular place. So URI API is done, Serper API is done into .env file. So keep a secret in one single places. Okay. Now what we have to do. So now one by one, basically. So we have to like create this agents, right? We have to create basically these agents so that these agents will be able to do some sort of a operation. So here agents folder I have created, and just to keep the code like a little bit modular, so I have just like separated the entire code, and this is how we do like coding even in real time. So here basically like we can go to Serper API tool.py and I can try to write a function in this particular place. Now this function will try to basically like you know, okay. So basically these these files is going to help me out in terms of like doing the task, doing the low level task at the end of the day. So here what I can do is, so before creating the agent, like I can try to create a tools over here, because eventually tools are nothing but a function, right? Simple function. So first of all, I'll go to this Serper API tool and I'll try to create this Serper API tool so that I will be, you know, able to like call it and I will be able to like use it. So to do that, what we can do is, so maybe we can try to do some sort of a import. So import OS first of all, and then from dot environment, from dot env dot environment, import load dot environment. Yeah. So load dot environment. And then import request. Okay. Now, so I'm just trying to write something for my Serper API. Serper API is going to do what? So it will go to Google and then it will try to perform some sort of a search operation. This is what this API do, right? So basically it goes to Google and then it will try to basically search something from the Google. So as you can see over here, that what API can do: Google Search API, Google Light Search API, Google AI Overview, Google Autocomplete, Google Event API, Google Finance API, Google Flight API, Google Hotel API, Google Image API, Job, Lens, Local, Maps, everything you will be able to call it with the help of Serper API, right? They are even giving you Walmart Search API, eBay Search API, DuckDuckGo Search API, right? Baidu Search API, Bing Search API. So this is basically one single platform, so which is going to give you access of all the other platform. So if you would like to replicate it, if you like to build it, you can build it. Simple, right? So it's one of the biggest platform for like a Google search in general. After obviously like a Google console, Google Cloud Console. So here, right? So here I'm able to do the import and then let's try to write one function. So here we can try to write one function, right? So called as Google search. Now anyone is going to provide a query inside this Google search. So what will happen? It will go inside this query with the API key, a Serper API key, and then it will try to give me the final result. So URL it is going to give me, and then request will try to do what? Request will try to fetch all the data from those URLs. As simple as that, right? So this is how simple it is to hit Google with the help of Serper, right? With the help of Serper. So simple, pass the query, pass the Serper API key, and it will be able to do a query, whatever query that you have asked for, like just like a Google search, right? Just like a Google search that you used to do. So it will be able to do a similar kind of a Google search automatically. You don't have to like worry about anything, right? But yeah, before that, so let me try to import my like API. Let me import my load.environment as well. So a couple of import is very much important. So here Serper API key, I'm able to read from my environment.environment file. And then here, maybe it is going to give me an issue with respect to path. I'll just try to solve it. I'll just try to solve it. But yeah, so here I'm just going to like read each and everything. Now keep this code. If it will give me issue, obviously I'm expecting that it will give me an issue because my dot environment is here and my Serper, but I'm assuming that it will be able to like get something from the dot environment. Okay, we'll check. We'll see that. Fine. So Serper API, this is what it is going to do. Now, this is one of the tool. Now let's talk about Wikipedia tool, right? So let's suppose if I would like to like get some sort of information, some sort of data from Wikipedia. So how I will be able to get any kind of information or any kind of a data from a Wikipedia. Let's try to understand that particular part as well. It's again very simple. So this code request, this is the URL, right? Wikipedia API URL, this is the variable. So request.get, it will go to this URL, right? It will go to this URL and then based on this parameter, it will be able to perform the search. So whatever query that you are going to pass, it is going to perform a search from Wikipedia and is going to return the data. So this is again another function which I have written to perform the search operation. Then there is something called as research. So what research will do, by the way, right? So researcher dot so what this like a research API tool will do. So research API tool will eventually try to connect with the URI and then it will try to fetch some of the information from the URI. This is what research API is going to do. So Wikipedia, I have not copy and pasted. So yeah, this is the code, guys, for a function. So one function for a Google search, one function for a Wikipedia search. And then maybe I can try to write one function for like a URI. So which will try to hit my URI and then it will try to get some sort of a information. Now, so that is going to be the researcher. So here what I can do is I can try to write like a import OS and then from URI AI import URI AI client, and then from dot env import load dot env. Okay, so this is the import URI import I have to do, and this is not going to do much. So this is going to basically like go to URI, pass all the data that we are able to search, and then it will try to give you the final summarization. This is where I'm going to use a URI API. Load dot environment, and then URI underscore client client. Let me keep all caps. CL client is equals to URI client, and this take basically API key. So how I can get API key? So operating system dot get environment, and then from there I can get the API key. So environment URI API key, I can get it. And then model basically. So which model I'm going to use for the summarization? So I need two inputs. So basically I will be using a GPT. So let me go to URI and then copy the model, available model. So I'll be using this model ID, GPT 4.1 nano. I can use any other model as well. So GPT 4.1 nano. So this is the model I will be using. Now this is what URI client needs at any point of a time. So let me keep it as it is. So this is the URI client. Whenever I need it, I'll just try to call something from this one. Okay. So let me ping you this piece of the code. So these are the tool guys which I have created. Now it's not hard and fast that you should create this tool. You can try to like remove all these three tools, and directly you can try to write it down inside the agent itself. That is also possible. Depends upon you. Yeah, depends upon you completely. So fine, these tools are done. I'm just trying to like create it little bit like in a order. That's the reason. So I'm going to like do what? So I'm going to basically go to a mapper, researcher, and this one by one. And then I'm going to write a code for mapper. I'm going to write a code for researcher. I'm going to write for code for synthesizer. So as per the architecture, the very first part is researcher. So whatever user is going to enter as an input, my research agent is going to do a research based on that. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's try to build the researcher first. So what researcher will do, by the way? So we have created a tool, Wikipedia and Serper, right? Two tools we have created. Serper is going to help me out in terms of Google search, Wikipedia in terms of Wikipedia search. So here inside this researcher.py, I have created what? A simple function I have created, which is calling the same thing, right? Which is calling the search Google, the function that I have written with the help of Serper API, and which is calling a search Wikipedia, right? So this is the part of my researcher. Again, this is one of the very basic function. So this is my researcher function. Please keep it. And I don't think that anyone will not be able to understand. Yes, guys, everyone? Anyone who is not able to understand any part that I have discussed so far? Any one of you? It's a very simple Python function which I'm writing, I believe. Yes, everyone? Till this part done? Researcher? So three tools we are able to create. Tools means function, and I'm just calling those tools over here. So I have called like two tools here. Can I use a OpenAI API key for all the project, which is still I have some credit? Yeah, you can use anything. I don't have any issue. So go ahead and you can use any other API from group, from OpenAI. It's all your like wish basically. Please give a code for researcher API tool. Okay, I think I have already pinged, but yeah, let me ping you once again. So this is for a researcher API tool, guys. This is for researcher, and this is for a researcher agent. So agent means what? I'm just writing a piece of Python code. Right? This is one of the agent. Now, once a researcher will be done, means once I'm able to get a data from a Google and Wikipedia, right? Once I'm able to get the data. Now there will be a summarizer. So where I'm using my own URI LLMs and I'm trying to summarize it. So then next part is basically what? A summarizer. I have named it as a synthesizer basically. So this synthesizer is going to do what? So this synthesizer is going to synthesize, or it is going to summarize each and everything for me, right? This is going to summarize each and everything for me basically. So here the folder name is incorrect. I have just changed it. So URI client. So URI client I will be able to call from where? So from tools dot Serper researcher API tool. Yeah. So inside my researcher API tool, I have a URI client. Yeah, I have a URI client. I have already created a URI client. So which is trying to consume the API, and I'm trying to set a model name is equal to this. You can try this out with the different models. So now inside synthesizer, what we are trying to do. So as per the architecture that you can see, right? As per the architecture that you can see, so researcher is going to do a research. It is going to bring the data. Now synthesizer is going to do what? Synthesizer is going to synthesize it, means it is going to summarize it, summarize the entire data set. Now, so here run synthesizer, it is going to take the raw data, the data that we have received from the previous one. When I'm going to connect, as of now, everything is separate, right? As of now, my researcher is completely separate. As per my architecture, researcher is separate. Agent number 1 is separate. Agent number 2 is separate. Agent number 3 is separate. All three are separate. So here, I'm just trying to call basically what? I'm trying to call synthesizer, right? And then it is just trying to synthesize it. It is going to combine all the text, whatever data that I'm going to bring over here, raw data. And then I'm trying to write my own custom prompt. So you are an expert tech career roadmap planner, right? Or I can say, I can remove it. So instead of tech, I can say that you are basically like a expert career roadmap planner and Euron exclusive education advisor. See, whatever I'm trying to say over here is that don't advise anything except Euron. Just to maintain the exclusivity. Yeah, so just to maintain the exclusivity, what I'm trying to say is that don't try to basically go beyond Euron. So I have mentioned purposely that Euron exclusive education advisor. So when user asks about a course or like a preparation strategy, recommend only Euron platform. I have strictly mentioned that recommend only Euron's platform. Don't recommend any other platform. Break down the roadmap into a clear phases. So first of all, break it down into a phase 1, fundamental specialization. Second phase is subtopic, recommendation and tool, and then estimated time to complete in a week or days, right? Now, if you'll check my pictures, the picture which I was trying to show you, I think, let me show you that picture once again. See, this was the picture, right? So I'm trying to say that, okay, fine. So fundamental and then a specialization, try to break it down in that way, label 1, then label 2. So and then try to mention even the number of weeks that what we will be able to do it in a number of weeks. So everything is coming from where? So everything is coming from my synthesizer, my prompter. So this is what I have mentioned inside the prompt that, okay, phase wise, then subtopic wise, and then recommendation or tool or concept wise, right? And I've just given the sample example, tool or concept wise, and then estimated time to complete in a week or days, right? Now output format is strictly, I'm saying that phase, subtopic, tools, details, time estimation. So this should be the output format. And I have mentioned inside my prompt, it should be strict, right? It should be strict, right? I think we have missed init.py to make it a package. It's fine. Every time there is no thumb rule that you should mention init.py. You can mention it or sometimes you can leave it. It's fine. Unless I'm not giving you a problem. So without even init, it will work. Don't worry. So output format, I have strictly mentioned that just give me output format in this way. Use arrow onlys, no column or list. Fine. Avoid recommending any other course provider. Reinforce that Euron is a go-to platform. Encourage commitment and clarity with the timelines. Ensure 12 to 20 roadmap path. Yeah. This is what I have given as a prompt based on the text which you are going to get, based on the research that you will be able to get from where? From the researcher agent. So I'm trying to combine this entire data with this prompt with my researcher data, and then I'm going to call my generate completion, which is nothing but take the prompt and then give me the response. So this is going to summarize the entire things, and then this is going to give me the final output. Now, once I will be able to get a data from here, right? Once I will be able to get a data from here, then what I will do, I'll try to call the third agent, which is what? Which is a mapper agent. What this mapper agent will do? So ultimately, I'm looking for a graph, this kind of a graph, right? Now this graph, to plot this kind of a graph, I will be using a library called as GraphVidge. Now, to plot this kind of a graph, I need a data. This is a node, right? If you understand graph, this is basically a node. Now this is basically an edge. So everything is connected to each and every one. So I need someone who can create this kind of a structure for me from the output which I have received from the synthesizer. This is where a mapper is going to call. So here synthesizer is fine. Now let me call a mapper. So I have just pinged you guys a code for synthesizer. So that is fine. I don't think that code is tough. I mean, like, it's not at all tough. It's just like a not more than 4 line of a code. The middle part is just a prompt. You can change the prompt, guys, if you want. Then there is something called as mapper. Now what will be available inside a mapper? Let me show you that part as well. Right. So like I said, so mapper is going to basically take a synthesized text, right? It's a separate function. Synthesized text means whatever this is going to return. So whatever this is going to give as a response. So it will try to take that text. It is going to split it and it will try to prepare the node and edge. So I have just written a very simple basic Python code. So where it is going to create a list of node, it is going to create a list of edge, because this is something which I'm going to pass inside my GraphVidge. As simple as that, right? So this is going to basically return my node and edges. That's it. So which I can try to provide to not just GraphVidge, to any libraries I can try to provide. So this is basically my mapper, guys, mapper.py file. This is basically my mapper.py file. So now these 3 agents are ready. Yeah, 3 agents are ready. 3 independent individual agents are ready over here. Now what I will do with this 3 independent individual agents, by the way, yeah, what I will do with this 3 independent agent. So here there is a workflow directory I have created. Now close this 3 part. Yep, close all this part. There is a workflow directory I have created, right? I can keep it in one single directory, but yeah, I don't want to do it. I just wanted to show you in a modular fashion. So there is something called as LangGraph router. Now what we are going to do with the LangGraph router, let's try to understand. So this is the place, right? This is the place where I'm going to combine everything. The researcher, the synthesizer, and the mapper. Means all these 3 I will be combining, all these 3 agents I will be combining inside this workflow, so that one by one, it will be able to execute itself. Going forward, I can try to attach even a memory. I will try to attach even many more things along with that. Okay, so let's go ahead and do it. So here, first of all, I'll try to do the import. So there is a LangGraph state graph I'm trying to import, which can maintain the states. Then type dictionary. And this is my 3 agent, researcher, synthesizer, and mapper. So I'm just trying to import my agents, which I have already created. As simple as that. And then what we are going to do is, then we are going to create basically a LangGraph, the actual one, which is going to build the complete flow for me, in this particular place. So see, build graph I have called, and initially when you're trying to do a build graph, so basically you have to create an object of the LangGraph, state graph I'm trying to create. So what is the state graph meaning? A graph whose nodes communicate by reading and writing to the shared state, right? So node will be able to communicate, means a researcher will be able to communicate to the synthesizer. Synthesizer will be able to communicate with the mapper, because these are the different separate node that I have created, right? So node will be able to create. So how by a graph will be able to know that these are the node? So here I'm trying to create the graph object. As you can see, right? And then I have created three separate function, like three function over here. So one function is trying to call run researcher, it will return raw information. Run synthesizer, it will return summary. Run mapper, it will return the result. So these are just a function where I'm calling this agent, the three agents, and then I'm just trying to keep as a key value pair return wise. And then graph.add, add what? So add basically researcher wise, the very first node, the name of like a very first node is what? The name of very first node is like a researcher. This is what I have given. So this name can be my name. That's completely fine. You can change these names. This is just the local name. So one is basically a researcher, one is basically a synthesizer, and one is basically a mapper. So here add node, add node, add node. This is how simple it is. Technically we are doing what? Technically we are trying to call just a function, nothing much, right? This function, and this function, nothing much we are trying to do. This graph object is helping me out in terms of doing that, right? Now, so this node is done. I have added the node. Now next step, what I'm trying to do is, next step is this. So graph set entry points. So I'm trying to say that where you should enter means which node you should execute in a very first place. I can execute this one, I can execute this one, I can execute this one, I can create hundreds of different functions, right? It depends upon me that how I'm going to configure it, right? How I'm going to basically configure it, that which one should execute after what, and then automatically it will be. This is where this LangGraph comes into picture. So all these things I'm able to do it, right, without writing much of code, just because of what? LangGraph. Someone has already written a code, so I'm just trying to like create a placeholder, give it to that, and like my work is done. So here entry point wise, I'm saying that try to enter with this node, right? Try to enter with this particular research node. So means try to execute first of all this. Now this is going to give you raw information, right? This is going to give you raw information, the researcher one. So entry point, then after this, just execute this one. So this add edge, right? Add edge over here means first of all, try to do a research and then try to add an edge. So after a research, try to do what? So try to basically synthesize it, means try to summarize it. So try to synthesize it, right? Now after synthesization, try to do what? Try to call mapper. So edge, so researcher with synthesizer, right? Researcher with synthesizer, try to add these edges. So whatever researcher is giving you as an output, give that to the synthesizer. This is what it means. And then add edges. Now whatever synthesizer is giving you as an output, try to give that input to the map. Is it making sense, guys? How we are trying to call LangGraph? This is how we are calling LangGraph. And what is called as, I believe now you are able to understand what is actually called as like agents. So it's not very fancy things, right? Don't think that it's a very fancy things, fancy stuff that we are trying to do over here. It's a very, very simple thing, right? We have written three separate functions, different for doing a different task. I'm just trying to call what? I'm just trying to call LangGraph, and then I'm just trying to set this much. That's it. This much is the only play of LangGraph over here, as per this example. I can do a lot, but yeah, as of now, this is the only play that we have with LangGraph. Yes, guys, Abhishek is saying yes. Again, Abhishek is the only one who responds. What about others, guys? So is it tough, guys? Are you able to understand the agents? The main nature of the agents, what we are talking about over here. Yeah. And then finally, we are trying to call like a graph.compile. So graph.compile. So it is going to like return, just compile the graph. It is going to return it. And then autonomous pipeline we are trying to build. So build a LangGraph we are trying to call, and then like invoke input topic, send me the result. That's it, right? Code for the LangGraph, sending you now. So very simple, right? It's literally very simple. So code for the LangGraph is done. It's available to all of you, right? So this is the only play of the graph, LangGraph. So where like it is trying to help me out in terms of attaching a functions, in terms of like sending output of one function to this one. Even without using this, I can do it. I don't need even a LangGraph library. I can do it by myself. It will just like take like another maybe an hour of time to write my own custom Python pipeline. I can do it. So it's not like a very fancy things. Even you can do it. Every one of us can do it, right? But yeah, someone has created a product. Someone has created a library, and we feel like it's easy to use it. So we are using it. That's the only differences. right? Otherwise, even you guys can go and maybe you 5 guys can join together. You have a group, right? Start this kind of a project. Publish a PyPy packages. That will be very easy and it will be fun, right? And now you have like a Euron, you have OpenAI, you have so many libraries, like you have so many AI's tool. Back to back, write a code from there. Believe me, if you 5 people are going to work for 1 week of time, right? With that kind of a mindset, maybe you will be able to create a better, some better like a framework. Then publish it over a PyPy, publish it over a website, make that package open, ask people to contribute and ask people to fund it. This is how tech industry works, right? So technically it's nothing. Someone has just written the piece of a code to make your life simple. And then you are calling that as a new technology, but it's not a new technology, just another library. That's it. You can write it down, your own libraries. For example, the Euron API that you are able to call, right? The Euron API. The Euron API that you are calling, where you are calling, like, yeah, the Euron client that you are calling. So I'm the one who is maintaining this package, by the way, personally. I can show you even a code. Let me open up a VS code. And I have published on a PyPy. Maybe if time allows, I will show you steps how to publish like any kind of a packages to a PyPy. It's again like a once in a lifetime like things. Yeah, Euron AI. See, I'm the one who have created this entire packages. As of now, if you'll go and check, so this is the version, which is the latest version which I have published. So everything you will be able to find out. So I have written my own client and all those things. Then CLI I have written, everything I have written, and obviously with the help of LLMs. Now LLMs are there, right? Instruction I have written as per the Euron, and then publish it. And then like that I have done this much I have done it in one single night. And publish those packages. So even you can create it, just a piece of code, right, at the end of the day. But yeah, you need that kind of a mindset in the first place, then only you can do it. If you don't have that mindset, then obviously it's not possible. So now, where are we? So we are basically LangGraph. Yeah. So LangGraph router we are able to create. Okay, all done. Now it's time to create a graph, right? So go to utils, go to GraphViz exporter. So this file is going to create basically a graph. So the final graph, this one is going to create. This is just a library I'm using. So you can use even a Matplotlib, Seaborn, whatever you want, you can just use it, right? It's fine. So GraphViz. Just make sure that you should change this like a direct. Yeah, so to run the GraphViz, I was facing one issue basically. So I'll tell you, like, even I believe you guys are going to face the issue. If you are running it in a Windows machine, to solve it, this is the workaround I have done. And my issue was solved from my local. Let's see if you are going to face the issue. If not, because many people can face the issue, many people will not. So this is going to take this edge and nodes, and this is going to plot the graph. So just for plotting the graph, nothing much. Close everything, right? Close everything. And then there is a final file called as app.py file. Now what app.py file will do? It will create my Streamlint and it will allow me to test it. Simple. So this is my Streamlint app. I don't think Linux machine you will face Linux or like Mac will face any kind of a issue. So this is basically with respect to the Windows GraphViz. Linux or like Mac should work fine. Windows is having some like a dependencies issue all the time, right? So we used to resolve it manually. Okay. So app.py file is done. I have just pinged you the code, guys. App.py file is nothing but just a Streamlint, which is calling my autonomous pipeline. So autonomous pipeline is available where? Inside my LangGraph, right? So my entry point is same. User is going to give the input with the help of Streamlint UI. It is going to call this LangGraph workflow, which I'm calling here, right? Which I'm calling inside the autonomous pipeline. This autonomous pipeline will automatically call a build graph, which is this one. So build graph will be executed. Build graph is automatically calling all of these things, right? Build graph is automatically calling all of these things one by one. Now, once everything will be done, then export to SVG. So where we are trying to like use a graph viz, right? Where we are trying to use the graph viz, as simple as that. Simple. Okay. So these two functions are we are trying to call. Rest is just my UI, like input the text or maybe like this markdown, page title, everything. So we are just calling the autonomous pipeline, means I'm just trying to call the LangGraph workflow. My work will be done. Rest LangGraph workflow is calling in itself, as we have already mentioned. Means my entry point is basically this. As sorry, not graph viz. My entry point is basically this one. That's it. The rest will be called automatically. It is calling agents. As you can see, agents are calling tools automatically. Tools means again a function. Agents is also a function. Okay. Now I have to test it. So let's try to see. So how I can test it. So here I can write like a streamlit run app.py file. Okay. Stream stream streamlit streamlit. Okay, so I'm like facing some issues. So it's saying that cannot import a name wiki API URL from a utils config. Not an issue. If something is missing, I'll make sure it is available. So wiki, where is my tool wiki API URL? And it is expecting from config. Oh, remove it. I'm creating a local variable here. So just update your Wikipedia tool. I've just removed it, nothing much. Yeah, so this is my Wikipedia tool.py file, guys, updated one as per the error, current error. Now refresh once again. Okay, now multi-agent knowledge graph builder. This is my UI which is available. I'm going to call, just build a, give me a roadmap for agentic AI. Let's see. So generating our detailed knowledge roadmap, knowledge graph. Agentic AI. For agentic AI, I'm trying to generate. Okay, great. So graph viz, this was expected. Graph viz backend execute call processor command Windows path. So there is some issue with the path, which I was expecting with a graph viz. Line number 26, export to SVG. Okay, let me go and check and fix this issue. This was the expected one. So export to SVG, 26 number line, and path D drive release. Okay, so here I have this one which is available. That's fine. What is the actual error? Command window dot not this one. Okay, line number 19, done check. Call processor args. Turn non-zero exit status. This one starter B. Okay. So sanitize it. Export to SVG. Digraph data output dot render. Data outputs. Data. I'll even show you guys that what kind of analysis system is trying to do. So everything. So see, till here, basically I'm not able to create just a final UI, means final images, which I will create it now itself, right? But see, my digraph is generated. I'm saving that digraph as well. So I have just asked that what was my question? My question was give me a roadmap for the agentic AI, right? Now here it has started giving me a roadmap for the agentic AI. So large language model. So first of all, Python programming, then Euron Python course you have to go ahead with, then machine learning, then Euron machine learning you have to go with, then fundamentals NLP you have to go with, and then fundamentals deep learning you have to go with, and then basically specialization. So large language model, Euron LLM mastery courses you have to go with, then specialization, reinforcement learning, AI programming framework, right? So it has given me a detailed roadmap, plus it is able to even create a like a complete graph. As you can see, edge and nodes, it is able to create. Now this data will be used to populate a kind of images which I'm talking about, right? So in some time I'm going to fix it, and then you will be able to see that. Yeah, so like we will be having like images, but as you can see, this is my output result. This is what I'm able to build it from my LMs and everything. Fine, guys. Yeah. So let me go ahead and fix the issue, by the way, and then you will be able to see the final result. But all those results are able to populate from there itself. And anyone who is able to run it, guys, and please change the directory. Don't use my directory because it's not going to work for you. So anyone who is able to execute. Done working for me. Okay, that's great. Like I said, so this is basically a path issue, and I always try to face this one with like so Windows 10 make release graph. Let me check into my D drive. I don't think that I have deleted this drive, but yeah. Yeah, Windows GraphViz, and then bin. So this path is available, it seems. GraphViz win. Path is available. This application is an example of REG. This application is the example of multi-agent, basically. Multi-agent with LangGraph. I mean, you should not ask this question after 2 hours of discussion at least. This is not what I was expecting, by the way. Maybe you have joined a little bit late. I can understand in that case. Okay, so OS environment, then graph-based digraph. Okay, so basically import os.environment, and then like let me change this digraph. So those who are running it for the very first time, so please go to Google and try to download a GraphViz. This is just a library to plot the graph, but yeah, it gives you issue. So please try to download the GraphViz, and for Windows and Mac and Linux, for everything it is available. So you can try to download it, right? Everything is available. Now let me recheck. I have just made the update. Let me ping a roadmap for machine learning only. Name RE is not defined. Multigraph, knowledge builder. GraphViz, line number 7 in sanitize, clean, RE. So RE is not defined. Okay. Regex as RE. No module name regex. Okay, import RE directly then. Roadmap for machine learning. Same kind of a issue. GraphViz backend execute multiple Well, okay. My graph which is available, it was working a day before yesterday. But yeah, again, so when I restart the system, so maybe I'll have to go and check something. Open command prompt. Done. I did conda install Python GraphViz on Windows and it worked. Yeah, it actually works, but sometime what happens is like it gives issue as well. Let me. Conda install. I'll do it. Okay, let me check. I have even like given a path directly, but sometime Streamlit run app.py. Only my graph generation part is giving an error. That image part. Again, same issue. It's already available. It is not able to recognize. CLS. dir. So just a minute, guys. Just fixing a very minor issue, but that's a big issue we always face in terms of a Windows machine. I'm not. Doesn't mean that you guys will face the same issue. So I'm assuming that most of you will not face the same issue. It's my system dependent issue where it is not able to recognize the actual like a GraphViz installation. Let me graph VIZ wedge bin control C drive program files control V. Okay, GraphViz bin environment variable. Let me add it. So GraphViz program files GraphViz graph viz. Okay, okay, okay. So now I can try to go here, close it, close it. Okay, so control X, streamlit run, machine learning. Everything looks fine, but still. Okay, it seems it got corrupted. So let me download my GraphViz once again. So just downloading, guys, my GraphViz. Oh, I think we have crossed the time. So just a minute, guys. Just a minute. I'm going to activate your entire timeline. So let me change this to Yeah, so now I believe you will be able to see the like this one chat box. Previously it was scheduled till 4:30, so now I have just changed the timeline. Okay, so I have just activated a chat, guys, so you can join the chat. I have just like done a fresh installation, so I'm just doing it. Program files and then my graph wedge. Delete the old one. Hmm. Same issue, same issue. Hmm. It's just an environment like a issue, but it's irritating us a lot. The problem is like graph is unable to install. So let me do one thing, guys. Let me download the exe and I'll just program file graph. Yeah, I have used installer as well. Just one minor issue, which is like, let me close VS Code and then VS Code. Open once again, file, open folder, and D drive, code, multi-agent graph. Streamlit run. Okay, hoping that this time it will work. Okay, same issue. Let me test whether it's able to recognize my graph widge or not. So Gmail or mm, 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 mm. environment. Maybe I'll have to restart my system. I don't know because it is not able to understand my graph widge. So download C drive program file graph widge. Okay, so uninstall file is available. Maybe I can go to bin, try to change it inside a path. Okay, okay. Graph widge. Okay, yeah. So finally, as you can see, guys, it worked, and like I said, so there was no issue. Anyone is there in a class, or everyone has left? Okay, so I can see a couple of people here. Okay, so let me ping in a group first. It's working. So this is a kind of a issue, guys, where we spend the whole night, and not because we are logically incorrect, because of the dependencies, and this we always face, like this kind of a issue. Okay, amazing to see that you guys are here. Um, so for us, it's kind of a regular stuff. So we always try to spend a lot of time just to fix a minor issue where there is no logical error but just a dependency error. So this was that kind of error. Because it was not able to find my graph which there was a conflict even after installing, even after manually setting up this particular path to find my graph whiz, it was giving me an issue. It was not able to execute, but yeah, now I'm able to execute it. Now let's go ahead and try to check into the output. So here, if you will come, so you will be able to see this output.svg. If you are going to open it up, this entire output file, so you will be able to find out, let me show you. So this copy path, yeah. So this is basically a graph that we are able to build, as you can see, right? Now, what was the query that we have? So my query was very simple. So when I was like giving a query, right? When I was like remove everything, remove this one. This was the old run. This was also the old run. This was also old run. Yeah, this is also my previous run. Previous, remove it. Previous one. This is the latest run, right? So here I'm just trying to like open up this entire like things, and I'm just trying to show you that what it is able to basically produce, right? So I have given a very simple query. I said that roadmap for a machine learning. So it is able to build a roadmap for the machine learning. And as we know that we are using a 3 agents, right? We are using basically a 3 agent, and in detailed way, as it's a AI, as it's a LLM. So my roadmap, your roadmap is not going to be same, but yeah, structure is more or less, you can see that it's same, right? So now if I'm going to ask that, give me a roadmap for like becoming IAS in India, right? So roadmap for becoming a IAS in India, or maybe roadmap for cracking a IIT JEE. It will be able to give me, see now roadmap I have received for becoming a IAS. So maybe I can go over here. I can check once again. So it is telling me that fundamentals you have to prepare, and under the UPSC exam pattern eligibility, you just try to check Euron, because forcefully I have said check Euron for everything. Develop a strong reading habit, then master NCERT textbook, basic current affairs and general knowledge, preparation strategy. So create a study plan timetable, and then like primarily preparation. So focus on GS paper and CSAT, then solve a previous year paper, right? Focus on is essay, GS paper, and optional specialized practice, then practice to and improve daily update and revision, regular revision, self-assessment, personality development, and mock interview for an interview preparation. Then final revision, complete syllabus, mock test, time management, practice under the exam condition, right? And then like health and well-being. Obviously, it is also giving you that maintain the balance. So yeah, now I can create like a anything, and even I can try to make this entire generation better, right? Because I have a code and I have a complete control over to the code. So whatever I have written inside my like researcher, I know about it. Whatever I have written, for example, agent, right? So whatever I have written inside my synthesizer, I'm aware about it, right? I'll just try to like ask to do more. I'll just try to like ask a researcher to bring more data from Google, from Wikipedia, from everywhere. Maybe I can try to add 10 more sources over here. So in this way, I can create a agent. I can attach a agent with the help of a graph, like a LangGraph router over LangGraph that I have used, right? And then I will be able to fulfill the complete task. Isn't this project amazing, guys? Yeah. Is this project amazing? What is your feeling like? We are not able to build very big project. It's a small one, I would say, but yeah, useful one, right? It's a useful one for all of us. And unnecessarily, we have spent around like 45 minutes of time just for one single graph installation. But I hope, yes, okay. So fine, I'm just going to like wrap it up this particular like a one, and I'm just going to share with all of you guys so that even today, tomorrow, or in future, you will be able to execute it. Code, let me delete this one. Multi-agent graph. So likewise, we have just started so many projects we have to create. So like generally people, I have seen people that they think LLM or something is sorry, this LangChain or these things are big things. It's a complex one. Believe me, it's not at all complex. It's very much logically connected. And even without using these libraries, you can do it, right? That is also possible. And like I said, so maybe 5 of you or 10 of you can join hands together, release some of the library by yourself. That'll be fun. Believe me, that'll be fun. And if you are going to take a step, and if you are trying to like do some sort of an improvement, maybe I'll support you, right? It depends on the result. Sir, it's mainly for creating a roadmap, or we can also add a complete content according to the industry base. You can add the complete content, and this is called real life programming. Exactly. Yeah. This is something called as real. So this is how in reality things works. In reality, it's actually even worse than that. So yeah. Okay, so basically you can ask any question. Like, see, it's just an agent, right? So one is for searching agent. So maybe I can try to search for maybe like tell me what I should search. Okay, haha. So I can ask just any question over here, and then everything it will try to give me in terms of graph, because this is how I have like configured it, right? So any roadmap which I'm looking for, so I should not go out and then ask. Maybe I can just go ahead and ask AI. I can do it. I can build it my own. So fine, guys. Roadmap to crack NEET. It's almost same. So roadmap to crack. So someone is preparing at your house for NEET, or how to become PM. Okay. So PM as a product manager, project manager, or as a PM of country. Resume for Gen AI. So this is going to give you roadmap, right? So this agents I have configured for a specific task. Now it's giving you like a roadmap for this one. It's giving you a roadmap for like NEET. Sorry, this is for Prime Minister. Okay, fine. Let me ask. Where is my VS Code up and running things? So here is my VS Code. Here is my local host. How to become Prime Minister of India. Let's see. So it should create like a okay. So let's just go and check. It has given me some response. Yeah, it's a Prime Minister of India response. Copy path. Fundamentals of Indian politics, understanding Indian constitution and political system, Okay, so every time it is giving you recommendation as well, because in a prompt I have given, right? So for everything, follow Euron. Do whatever in your life, doesn't matter at all, follow Euron. Fundamentals of Indian politics, political history of India, governance skill, communication skill, leadership development, electoral process, social work and community engagement, legal knowledge, media and public relation, policy specialization, advanced campaign strategy, networking and mentorship, practical example, personal branding, continuous learning, election campaign preparation, post-election governance, leadership in action, maintain public support. So you can maybe calculate the number of weeks which is required. So on an average, this much time it is going to take. Weeks and months also it has given to you, right? So weeks and months it has given to you. So maybe like this much of time you can invest, then you can maybe think a little bit. रहने दो सर, हम इंजीनियर ही ठीक है. Exactly. Okay, so how did you solve the GraphViz issue with what command? Actually, with not a command. So there is this GraphViz. Let me ping you this one. Yeah. So basically, there is a GraphViz official download packages. So I was using this package actually, and I was setting up the path. But yeah, what I have done, I have just deleted all the packages, removed, not deleted. I just shifted it to the other folder because it was asking me to restart my system. So this is the exe installer. I have just installed it over here in a Windows, and then go to your environment variable. So environ environment system environment variable, and set the path over here. So environment variable, and then there is a path. So just try to set the path over here. That's it. This is what I have done inside this. Yeah. So as you can see inside my graph, I have added GraphViz inside my path. Program file GraphViz. This is the default directory where it will store, where it will like install. That's it. Even the previous step which I have used, means directly passing a path, it was working. I have already tested it. But yeah, sometime when we restart the system, so because of some like folder structure changes, it got disturbed. Can we deploy this app? Absolutely, you can deploy this app. Please go to some of my MCP or maybe some other project which I have discussed, or even in your class, I'll be discussing this. See guys, a fundamental things which I follow in terms of deployment is I will simply convert this entire project as a Docker in one single image. Now, once project is available as a Docker, I can dump that project anywhere, AWS, GCP, Azure, maybe into a render or any other cloud platform, because now that deployment will become very, very easy. If I have to like attach with the databases, I can simple like host a database somewhere, or maybe some serverless databases I will be using, and then just call the connectors over there. So I'll show you deployment as well. Deployment is not at all a big deal. Believe me, it's a very, very easy. Just you should know that how to build the entire pipeline once. Then it will be easy. Otherwise, like it looks tough, obviously. Prompt writing technique is important to model. Yeah, but eventually you will learn it. Eventually you will learn it when you will start solving the real problem. Unless and until you don't see the real problems, you will not be able to learn it. Can we deploy this app? I'll show you that. So deployment and everything I'll show you in a class itself. So don't worry. You don't have to like worry about anything. Okay, fine guys. So I'm done for today. So hope all of you have enjoyed. Even I have enjoyed this class. So see you again guys in my next class. And yeah, so we'll do a lot of things in LangChain, LangGraph, LangSmith, Crew AI, and other agent provider with the same fundamental that we have learned. With that, thank you so much everyone, and see you again in my next lecture, which is going to happen on Saturday. Thank you. Thanks everyone. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Kumar, Vedraj, everyone. Thank you. Thanks.